building a deeper bond with your partner might be as easy as just getting answers to 4 fairly simple questions.
All right, so we've got Dr. Viviana Coles, our relationship expert from Houston Relationship Therapy, here with what to ask. And you might think, well, sure, I know the obvious, but these are not questions I would have thought of at all. So that's why I really like these.
Well, so many people have trouble getting into deeper situations without it turning into a fight, or with it being a response to some sort of an issue that they're having. So these are questions that you can ask. They're just one of many groups of questions that I think you should ask. The first one being, do you have a talent or a skill that you're most proud of, and do you feel like you get to use it often enough?
And why that question?
The reason for that one is because our lives can sometimes feel so singularly focused, especially when we're trying to provide for families, that we don't really get to spread our wings. I mean, I feel like I get to, but I make it happen, and I make that a priority. But for a lot of people, they do have a lot of really special talents and even just character traits that don't necessarily come out on a daily basis. So reinforcing that you know that there's more to your partner will probably make them feel more open to sharing what those are.
And then if you ask that one, it would easily lead into your next idea, which is talking about if you could do anything in the whole world, it didn't matter what you made, what would you do? How does that help?
Again, we stop being dreamers. You know, we get very practical in our relationships, especially when we have dependents. So it's important to kind of help your partner dream a little bit about like really knowing what's out there. What would you want to do? And it probably tells you a little bit about where their escapism is, you know, without it being a, and you're going to do this, right? It could be, you never know.
Yeah, good questions to ask before marriage too. All right, and then finally, when did you last feel grateful for our partnership, and why? Ooh, that would be an interesting one.
Well, it gives you insight as to what it is that really stands out to them. I mean, I'm sure that there are lots of little things, but if you could pinpoint and have them pinpoint that last time where they really felt like, gosh, I'm so glad to be in a relationship with you, wouldn't you want to know? Wouldn't that give you some insight, and maybe you can do it again?
And I love this because this will really make your partner think, and they better answer right. This will get a little more, you know, into personal instead of the overall of what are you most grateful for? What have you learned from your partner?
You know, in therapy, it's all about learning. It's all about the takeaways. But we don't often talk about that just in our relationships. In the past year, what have you learned about our connection? What have you learned about life based off of the way that we've interacted? So putting it out there, put that question out there, I feel like you're going to get some insight going into the new year.
All great questions. 4 questions from Dr. V. Thank you so much. We'll see you again soon.